essential to be up to date on happenings around you, and to make that easy for you, ladies and gentlemen, we present Freshlight, where we bring fresh newspaper headlines to the limelight. Mondays to Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Watch, like, subscribe, and make sure your notification is activated on our YouTube channel. You can also like and comment on our pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Al-IyamoyeTv and radio.
Okay, beautiful morning. Welcome to Freshlight on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. It's 30 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock, the 8:30. We are doing Freshlight this morning. The covers on Daily Trust first.
Okay, good morning. My name is RISQAT FUNMILAYO. Going through the kicking off with Daily Trust this morning. I'll start from the bold headline. Tinubu gives service chiefs new security templates. Only policy change can explain 169.4 naira depreciation. Daily Trust replies CBN. Subsidy removal. Workers, students groan as transport fares soar. 10th speakership cap feat Honorable Tajuddin. You can find this on page 16. Moving to another headlines, warns against interagency rivalry, says security reforms coming, orders immediate end to all theft. You can find all these stories on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Also, EFCC grills Fayemi over alleged 4 billion naira misappropriation. Page 34 captured this story. 10th National Assembly women demand deputy speakership as Lawan Gbajabiamila meet Tinubu. Page 12 captured this story this morning. Cleric remanded for raping women seeking prayers. And lastly, 10th Senate support the progressives. So these are many more stories you are going to find on Daily Trust newspaper this morning. And going into the details.
Okay, let's start with the one with the board deadline. Tinubu gives service chiefs new security template. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has warned the service chiefs and heads of other security agencies against working as cross-purpose under his administration. He charged them to work together in coordinated manner to achieve one single purpose of tackling the challenges of terrorism, insurgency, banditry, oil theft, sea robbery, and piracy, among others. The National Security Advisor, Babangana Muguno, told reporters after the first meeting which the president had with security and intelligence chiefs at the State House, Abuja. The meeting lasted over 2 hours. Tinubu gives service chiefs new security templates that you will see on Daily Trust this morning. Also on Daily Trust, you will see this political story. Troops arrest suicide bomber. ISWAP terrorist logistics suppliers. Troops of the Joint Task Force attached to Operation Hadinkai in the northeast have captured one suicide bomber alive while trying to wreak havoc at Kansuwa Fara area of Borno State. The soldiers, while conducting various offensive operations upon an intelligence that identified terrorist hideout, enclaves, camps, villages, forests, and mountains, also arrested 22 logistics suppliers to members of the Islamic State of West African Province terrorists, ISWAP. Major General Musa Dammadami, the Director of Defense Media Operations, told journalists at Defense Headquarters Abuja on Thursday that the terrorist hideouts were thoroughly raided between May 18 and June 1 during the operation jointly conducted by air component of the operation. Troops arrest suicide bomber, ISWAP terrorists, logistics suppliers. Daily Trust is reporting that.
Still on Daily Trust newspaper, subsidy remover, workers, students groan as transport fares soar higher. The hike in petrol prices from 195 naira to 540 naira by all marketers has left many workers unable to go to work as a result of work as transport fare has doubled. The oil marketers, including the federal government-owned Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL), began a new price regime on Wednesday following a pronouncement by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that the oil subsidy regime is gone. To read more of this story, you can go to the Daily Trust newspaper. It has this headline: Subsidy remover, workers, students groan as transport fare soar.
Okay, let's take the last story on Daily Trust before moving on to another paper. Aliyah swears in SSG, orders, seeks opposition's cooperation. Governor Hyacinth Aliyah of Benue State yesterday swore in some of his new appointees. Those sworn in were Professor Joseph Alakali, Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Emmanuel Shenge, Principal Private Secretary, Paul Biam, Chief of Staff, and Moses Agbogbo Ode, Head of Service. Performing the ceremony yesterday at the Government House in Makurdi, the governor cautioned the appointees against public and private conduct that will cause aspersions on his administrations. Aliyah swears in SSZ, orders, seeks opposition's cooperation. Daily Trust has that story.
Okay, moving to another newspaper this morning, we have The Nation. Tinubu orders centralized security coordination. Page 4 captured this story. Crackdown on oil thieves. President tells security chiefs. Obey APC zoning, non-serving. Senators tells Kalu Yari. You can find this on page 5 of The Nation newspaper. And looking through the bold headline, Kyari, subsidy removed to stop Nigeria from bankruptcy. No payment by federal government since February. Government, labor talks resume Sunday. Tribunal warns uncoordinated OB-LP against time wasting. This is another headline. Why federal government workers made salary? Why federal government made salary delayed? 90% broadband penetration in targets. And lastly, on The Nation newspaper, 10th Senate support the progressives. I'm going into the details of the story.
Okay, Kyari, subsidy removed to stop Nigerian from bankruptcy. Payment of subsidy on petrol would have sent the country into bankruptcy. Chief Executive Officer of NNPCL, Mele Kyari, said this. He spoke the day after releasing the new petrol pricing template, which raised the price from 185 per litre to between 488 and 577. In his inauguration address, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu announced that fuel subsidy is gone. Following this, many marketers shut filling stations, while others sold for between 600 and 900 naira per litre. Petrol queues returns to cities. On Wednesday, a federal government team met the labor leader on the issues and palliatives. The parley will resume on Sunday in Abuja. Kyari, subsidy removed to stop Nigerian from bankruptcy. The Nation newspaper is reporting that. Also on The Nation newspaper, you will see Tinubu orders centralized security coordination. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday demanded the centralized coordinations of security architecture. It was during this median meeting with service chiefs and heads of intelligence agency at the State House, Abuja. He unfolded the security philosophy of his administration and warned against agencies working at cross purposes. National Security Advisor NSA, Major General Babangana Munguno, retired, who briefed reporters about the police, said the president warned that he would not tolerate economic sabotage. Tinubu orders centralized security coordination. The Nation is reporting that.
Still on The Nation newspaper, Tribunal warns uncoordinated LP against time wasting. The Labour Party and its presidential candidate Peter Obi wasted time sorting their processes in their case before the Presidential Election Petition (PEPC) yesterday. For about 40 minutes, their lawyers could not coordinate their activities to ensure seamless proceeding. Their uncoordinated start prompted the presiding justice Haruna Samani to warn them against wasting the court's time. He suggested to the petitioners to request an adjournment to enable them to put their house in order. But the leader of the petitioners' legal team, Awakalu San, declined, noting that having sought an adjustment the previous day, he would prefer not to ask for another. To read details of this story, you can go to the Nation newspaper. It has this headline: Tribunal warns uncoordinated Obi LP against time wasting.
Okay, also on the Nation, Fayemi Adeyeye renew rivalry over Tinubu's cabinet. This will be the last story on the Nation newspaper before we go to Vanguard newspaper. The jostling between the Ekiti State All Progressive Congress APC for the state ministerial slot in the administrations of President Bola Tinubu is tearing the chapter apart. The struggle for the slot has resulted in a political schism. After taking the oath of office last Monday, President Bola Tinubu is expected in the next few weeks to announce members of his cabinet. The president-elect must have been assembling his team quietly following his victory in the February 25 presidential election. To read details of that feature story, pick up a copy of the Nation newspaper or you log on to thenationg.net.
Now on Vanguard newspaper, subsidy, new players will make petrol price come down, Kyari says. Crush oil thieves, other fellows, Tinubu orders security agencies. Presidential Tribunal, Peter Obi tenders result of 6 states, 115 local governments, LGAs in evidence. These are many more news you are going to find on Vanguard newspaper this morning, and going into the details.
Okay, subsidy, new players will make petrol price come down, Kyari. Group Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, NNPCL, Mele Kyari, said yesterday that the present high cost of petrol will crash in no distance time, allaying the fears of Nigerians about the development. It will be recalled that the country came up with a new template which fixed the price of the product at between 488 and 557 per litre across the country. He gave the assurance in an interview on the Rise TV morning show program monitored in Lagos. Kyari spoke on a day Amnesty International warned against the increased poverty removal of petrol subsidy will cause in the country and asked the federal government to urgently come up with measures to mitigate the debilitating effect of the removal. Subsidy, new players will make petrol price come down, Kyari. Presidential Tribunal, Peter Obi tender result of 6 states, 115 LGAs in evidence. Candidate of the Labour Party LP, Mr. Peter Obi, who is insisting that he won the presidential election, held on February 25 on Thursday, produced certified copies of results of elections from 6 states of the Federation to support his claim. Obi tendered the results, which were obtained from 115 local government areas, in evidence before the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, PEPC, sitting in Abuja. Though Obi's legal team was led by Professor Awakalu, SAN, however, the election results, which were contained in Form EC8A, were tendered from the bar by one of his lawyers, Mr. Emeka Okpoko, SAN. Presidential Tribunal, Peter Obi tenders result of 6 states, 115 LGAs in evidence. Vanguard newspaper has the details.
Still on Vanguard newspaper and moving to Lagos. Lagos lawmaker urges Nigerians to endure pains of subsidy removal. Mr. Victor Akonde, a member of Lagos State House of Assembly representing APC Ojowan, has urged Nigerians to endure the pains of the recent announcement of subsidy removal by President Bola Tinubu. Akonde made the call in an interview with the news agency of Nigeria, NAN, in Lagos on Thursday. NAN reports that Tinubu on May 29, 2023 announced the removal of subsidy during his inaugural speech at the Eagle Square, Abuja, following the announcement to discontinue petroleum subsidy. Petrol pump prices immediately skyrocketed to over 700 naira from 195 naira per litre. Akonde, also the chairman, House Committee on Judiciary, noted there were lots of benefits that Nigeria will enjoy with the removal of subsidy after a few months of pain. For details of this news, you can go to Vanguard newspaper this morning. It has this headline: Lagos lawmaker urges Nigerians to endure pains of subsidy removal.
Crushes oil thieves, others felons. Tinubu orders security agencies. It has riders like says Nigerians can't be on its knees while other countries are making progress. Mandate security heads to come up with a blueprint to change security architecture soon. President Bola Tinubu on Thursday told service chiefs and heads of security and intelligence agencies to crush anyone involved in oil theft, saying that his administration would not tolerate such menace. The president also said, as far as he is concerned, Nigeria should not go on our knees as a result of security challenges while other countries are working, moving forward and recording tremendous achievements. President Tinubu stated this in his maiden official meeting with security and intelligence head led by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Crush oil thieves, other felons. Tinubu orders security agencies. Vanguard is reporting that this morning. And on that note, we'll go for a commercial break. When we come back, we'll look at our last paper, which is the Punch newspaper. Do stay with us.
Have been disappointed severally in their bid to seek greener pasture abroad. To those quack in the traveling agency business, it is a rocket science. That is not our case at Tausaf Travels and Tour. We have in-depth details on how to successfully, without stress, help you process and secure your visa to anywhere in the world. Do you want permanent residential visa, visiting and tourism visa, student visa to places like Europe, America, Asia, Africa? It's no big deal to us at Tausaf Travels and Tour. Our years of experience and expertise speaks volume for us. Let's process and secure visa for you to UK, USA, and Canada within a twinkle of an eye. We offer Hajj and Umrah services to our Muslim faithfuls. What are you waiting for? Consult us at number 9 South Central Mall, Sholanke Street, behind Laroy Hotel, Abiola Way, Abeokuta. 0802 733 0900 or 0806 578 4060. Stop wasting money. Pay for peace of mind. Talk to Tausaf Travels and Tour. Thousands of
Welcome back from the commercial break. Still on Freshlight this morning, and moving to another newspaper, Punch newspaper. Dangote, PH refineries, Port Harcourt refineries, others won't change fuel price. NNPCL says refineries production input cost will raise price to current level. Kyari says. NNPCL says 1.8 billion liters petrol available. Queues won't exit Saturday. Reps demand relief palliative for Nigerians. Want oil swap deals suspended. And picking another story, end oil theft, insecurity, President orders service chiefs. You can find this on page 7 of the Punch newspapers. Also, beavers manipulated in over 20 Kogi polling units. Article witness says. Page 16 of the Punch newspaper captured this story this morning. New tenants flee with neighbors. Neighbors' 2 children in Abuja. Page 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper captured this story. And finally, operators kicked as maritime workers shot port on Monday. Page 28 of Punch newspaper captured this story. These are many more stories you are going to find on the Punch newspaper this morning. And going into the details.
Dangote PH refineries, others won't change for price. The local productions of premium malted spirit, otherwise known as petrol, by Dangote Refinery, Port Harcourt Refinery Company and others in Nigeria is not going to change the pump price of commodity. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has said. The NNPCL Group Chief Executive Officer Mele Kyari, who disclosed this during an interview on Arise Television in Abuja on Thursday, stressed that the notion that petrol prices will reduce once the country starts domestic production was false. Kyari confirmed that the Dangote refinery, which was inaugurated on May 22, 2023 by former President Muhammadu Buhari, will start pushing out product by the end of July and early August. He also stated that the Port Harcourt refinery will be delivered by the end of the year, adding that the facility was expected to further boost local production of petrol. Read up that story on Punch newspaper. Dangote PH refinery, others won't change for price. NNPCL. Sometimes the ways our leader talks is, why are we doing local refinery if it will not change pump price?
I wonder. I don't know why we are involving ourselves in local refineries.
Okay, maybe I need a refinery in Abeokuta.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, breaking. FIREME breaks silence on EFCC probe over alleged 4 billion naira fraud. The immediate past governor of Ekiti State and former chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Dr. Fakayode FIREME, has refuted the claim that he is under probe by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over an alleged 4 billion naira fraud. FIREME, in a statement on Friday by the head of the FIREME Media Office, Abuja, Malam Hamed Sajo, said this during his visit to the EFCC. No such allegations was raised during his conversation with officials of the anti-graft agencies. The statement, however, noted that all FIREME did during the conversation with the officials of the EFCC in Ilorin, Kwara State was respond to a frivolous petition from a group that was trying to soil his good name and image. To read details of that story, pick up a copy of Punch newspaper and look for this headline. Breaking. FIREME breaks silence on EFCC probe over alleged 4 billion naira fraud.
Okay, still on Punch newspaper, and this is a Metro News. Abuja policeman questioned me for driving expensive car, says engineer. An Abuja-based Twitter user at Onkudara has accused some policemen in Guaripa area of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, of allegedly stopping him twice in a week and questioning him for driving a 2009 Honda Accord Coupe. Tagging the first police public relations officer OLUWAFISAYOMI on Wednesday, the tweet stated, "Your men of the anti-car theft around Guaripa harassed me for the second time in less than a week. They stopped me, asked for car papers, searched my car, and one of the officers wanted to know where I worked. I told him." He called and I said, he asked about my salary. I told him I don't think he can ask me that. And he said, how much is my salary as an engineer, that I could afford a 2009 Honda Accord Coupe and I must be doing something unlawful and fraudulent. They insist I'll go to the police station. To read more of this Metro News, you can go to the Punch newspaper this morning. It has this headline. Abuja policemen questioned me for driving expensive car, says engineer. I think this story is quite funny.
Yes, I just want to tell you should be careful the kind of shoe you wear.
I think
maybe
I
you need to go with the
kind
receipts.
of clothes that I wear as well.
Because police were actually driving a 2009 coupe car. The coupe car, it's for 2009. It's several years ago. In developed country, you will see young adults driving a 2020, 2022 kind of car. But I don't know. Well, God help Nigeria.
I think it's an act of barbarism, or how would I say it? I think.
God. Motor boy deliberately stabbed sex workers to death, says police. A police prosecution witness, Inspector Jola Osho, on Thursday, told the Lagos State High Court sitting in Tafawa Balewa Square how he investigated the murder of a 28-year-old sex worker, Elochukwu Solomon, who was killed by a 23-year-old bus conductor, Babatunde Oluwadamilare. The witness, who was led in evidence in chief by the State Prosecution Counsel, Olayemi Shofolu, said the defendant made a statement saying that he had an agreement to pay the late Solomon 2,000 naira, but it was after he had sex with her that his deceased said she no longer collecting 2,000 naira but 8,000 naira. The defendant said it was the deceased that first aired his clothes before he saw a kitchen knife, and that immediately he saw the kitchen knife, he took it and stabbed the deceased, the witness said. To read details of that story, motorboy deliberately stabbed sex workers to death, says police witness. That is available on Punch newspaper.
Still on Punch newspaper and moving to Enugu State. Enugu government bans illegal mining activities. The Enugu State government has banned all illegal mining activities in the state. The ban was contained in a statement released on Thursday night by the Secretary of the State Government, Professor Chidebere Onya, warning against flouting the directive. The government said that there would be dire consequences for any illegal miner forthwith in the state. The government observed that it was in the overriding interest of the public to protect the people from any hazard or pollution, and also maintain equal rights of benefit accruable from any mineral resources to the people of the state. To read more of this story, you can go to the Punch newspaper. It has this headline: Enugu government bans illegal mining activities.
Taking the last story for today on Freshlight. The sports page of Punch newspaper has this: PSG to face Ronaldo on Japan summer tour. Paris Saint-Germain will face Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr and the Champions League finalist Inter Milan in the summer friendlies in Japan, the French title holder said Friday. PSG traveled to Japan to play the three local clubs last summer and were greeted by a sellout crowd even for their training sections. This year, they will take on Saudi side Al Nassr in Osaka on July 25 and J-League club Karasu Osaka 3 days later. There will be no head-to-head, however, between Ronaldo and old rival Lionel Messi by the Argentine said to have PSG. Messi was not among the players PSG used to illustrate the tour announcement on their websites. PSG to face Ronaldo on Japan summer tour. That is available on Punch newspaper. On that note, we'll say thank you for watching and listening to Freshlight on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Do join us again the same time tomorrow. I remain OLUWAFISAYOMI, AJIBOLA.
And I am RISQAT, FUNMILAYO. Do enjoy the rest of your weekend.